Yay Media Group.
Welcome to My Safe Word Is More with your hosts from Survivor and Amazing Race, Corinne Kaplan, stand-up comedian and TV personality, Al Jackson. I'm your producer, Chris Clark, and this is My Safe Word Is More.
What up, Chris Clark?
Welcome back, guys. This is part 2 of my Cruisapalooza. And so I did not finish telling you all about everything that I've been doing on the cruise.
You left us hanging.
I did. And I'm also, if you are watching on video, you can see I'm wearing more cruise attire so that, you know, I could really feel.
You look like a black woman going to jazz in the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they go to jazz in the park?
Yes. Oh, my God. My mom in Montez, jazz in the park, 5 o'clock on a Sunday in a place like Charleston, South Carolina. It's pretty big.
I went to jazz in the park with this loser that I dated. I bought all the charcuterie, all the wine. He brought 2 Palisade peaches, and then I didn't eat my Palisade peach. And in the morning when he left my house, he went to take it back.
Wait, you still banged him?
I did.
Oh, see, you ladies rewarding bad behavior. That's y'all fault.
Anyways, I didn't see any black people at the jazz in the park here, but that might be because we're in Colorado.
Yeah, I think so.
Back to the cruise. Okay, so I was obviously looking for love on the cruise. And so as I mentioned in the last episode, I was trying to manifest potentially finding a husband on this ship, right? Maybe even getting married on the ship. Because my all-inclusive wristband, I guarantee you, included an ordained minister.
Did it also include a husband?
No. Well, I was trying to find one. So as I mentioned in the last episode, I tried soliciting some of the help, and it didn't really work.
When you say soliciting, I'm thinking payments.
No.
Did you just
I did buy them
when they
alcohol.
came to bust your table, did you be like, oh, there's hundreds in the way? It's so cluttered.
No. But so there was a thing on the ship. It was a nightclub called the Dome, and it is a big dome. And I really was resistant to going.
Because it's the most embarrassing name on earth?
Because, well, this is what happens. Because I went by the first night and I was like, I can't. It's exactly what this isn't going to resonate with everyone. But if you've ever been to a bar mitzvah, it's like the same songs. They're going to play, I was going to say it, but you can't even use the words anymore. Let's get something now.
Okay. First, I know what you're talking about, even though nobody else would. Let's Get It Started was the name of the song by the Black Eyed Peas. There was another word that was the 18th letter that it started with. And everybody's mad at them. I'm like, do you know how many radio stations played that song? They heard it. They were like, spin it. That's incredible.
That was a big hit on the cruise. It's just shit you don't want to. I didn't like it when it came out. I don't need to hear Pitbull. And so anyway, the club is, garbage. So whatever, I go. And while I'm at this club, I see a hot guy. Now, the problem with me is in my head, I am 27 at best. I still think guys that are in their 20s are attractive.
Yeah, people think that people in their 20s are attractive. That's not some weird kink you have.
I don't know.
I'm into 22-year-old models. Sorry.
Yeah, I just like them. I think they're hot. And so I saw this guy and I was like, well, that is a hot gentleman that I have not seen on the ship before. And he was holding 2 Coors Light bottles or Corona Light bottles, and they were both just missing a few sips. So I went over to him and I was like, at the time I was out with my brother, our friend, and our friend's cousin who's 24. So there's 4 of us. I see this guy, he's by himself dancing on the dance floor, and there's only 8 people in this nightclub. And it's a massive club, honestly.
How tall is he?
Tall. I would clock him at 6'4", maybe.
Okay.
Adorable. Clearly younger. It wasn't as clear as what his actual age was when I asked him. So I was like, hey, dude, are you waiting on somebody? What's the other beer for? And he was like, oh, no, it's for me. They're both for me. And I was like, okay. And he's like, I turned 21 yesterday.
Okay.
So he doesn't understand that you buy a beer, you drink that beer, then you get a second beer. You don't get 2 beers at the same time. So you're just holding 2 beers.
No, I feel like you forget when you're 21, that first beer you take it like a shot. So he might be throwing that first one back.
He wasn't. Because then he goes, he was like, I said, oh my God, did you graduate college? Where did you go to school? And he's like, I'm a junior. And I was like, oh, this is getting worse. And I was like, are you here with your girlfriend? And I'm like, it's just like, it was embarrassing for me, honestly. And he's like, I'm on this vacation with my grandparents. So we're on the dance floor and I'm like, he's like, can I buy you ladies shots? And I'm thinking, well, it'd be your grandparents buying us shots. I'll just get them because money bag's over here.
Wait, ladies, who are you with?
So I was with my 2 friends I made on the cruise. One of them is 24. So he was very definitely hitting on the 24-year-old, which is fair. I mean, she was beautiful and also 24. But like, my ass was still like, maybe do I have a shot?
I know you were planning to eliminate the 24-year-old. Did you start feeding her kamikaze shots or something?
No.
These are non-alcoholic.
Like, don't you have a boyfriend?
Yeah. That clap must have cleared up. Your party ended up. Good for you.
So anyways, I end up buying him a shot. Now he takes 1 sip of the shot. He's holding half a shot and 2 half beers. Like,
he took a sip?
Yeah, he took a sip. I know. He was a child. Anyways, the next morning when we debrief, my friend was like, because she has a boyfriend, she's like, I don't want to request him on Instagram. Like, I think that's weird. Like, I'm going to withdraw the request. I go, no, he's going to see it either way. I go, we'll make you feel better. We'll all request him. And so we all do.
Oh, that's a good friend thing to do.
Yeah. Plus, I was interested. What's your Instagram look like? Well, after I did that, and then he could see who I was, he added me on Snapchat.
Do you have a Snapchat account?
So I did years ago when I dated the 22-year-old illiterate model. I had a Snapchat because that's how we like to communicate. I have not opened it and I don't know how to get in it. And I don't know if there's a dick pic waiting for me.
Oh, like from years ago or from him?
Either.
What? Okay. I
restart timer.
I already have the timer.
Oh.
I'm going. You just got to get 25 minutes. I'm already doing this for you.
Thank you.
It's like the Footsteps poem. When you look down and Jesus was carrying you. That was me.
Okay, but here's the thing. When I'm talking to him at the bar and I buy him a shot, this guy comes over to me and he's like, you are the most beautiful woman on this ship. And I was like, thank you for noticing. And he was like, and I have no one told him to do this. This was just my manifesting. He got down on one knee. He took his ring off of his finger and proposed to me.
What?
And I have the footage of it. Like I can share.
Wait, who did this?
Some guy.
Can we get some details?
I don't know. He stood up and I was like, I was like, he's cute. I mean, it was just an odd circumstance.
How tall was he?
Tall. You'll see in the picture. If you're watching video, Riley will put it up right now.
Okay.
So
I'm like in shock.
I know. And it was like a kind of nice ring. And so, and then he goes, I would like to have 4 kids. And I was like, well, this is the shortest engagement of all time.
Yeah, but not for this cruise. You could be like, yeah, let's
the
do
ring
it.
back. And that was it. I never even saw him again.
Really?
Yeah, but I fully have footage of this.
You know what you should have done? If you had on a cheaper ring, you should have given him that ring. He wouldn't notice, and then you just slip off into the crowd.
Switched him out. I should have. Oh, if I could find it real quick.
Was he hammered?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was at the Dome nightclub. Nobody's sober at the Dome.
That's very true. And so the 21-year-old just kind of wandered off?
Here, you can see my 24-year-old's friend's face in the background.
Okay. Corinne, she looks like a dignitary from Sweden.
I wore it was an odd get up.
Corinne, you look really dope.
Thank you.
And it looks like you're marrying Andrew Schultz's
Yes.
like weirder younger brother that just can't, kind of like Patrick Mahomes' brother, like the other one.
I'm just so lucky that my friend Alina caught this because otherwise no one would
Is that
believe
Alina
me.
in the picture?
No, that is the 24-year-old.
Okay. All right.
Sweet Molly.
Honestly, like, yeah, I mean, on paper, we should not be fraternizing with 24-year-olds in any capacity. But straight up,
I mean, if we're fucking our cousins now, I don't understand why this is off the table.
Yeah, no rules. Trump administration
Right?
coming in, have at it.
Right?
Get in there.
All right. So now I want to talk a little bit about what happened when we got off the ship. So we went to 3 different places. We went to Honduras, Belize, and then Mexico. In Honduras, we scheduled the monkey encounter, which was like the whole point of getting off the ship at all. Like, I was so fucking excited. Like, I don't want to zip line. I don't need to go like tour your ruins. You know, I've done all those things, but I will hold all the monkeys every time it's offered.
That is insane. What if one bites you? Isn't that how that movie Outbreak
They
started?
throw crap at you and stuff.
Oh,
I don't
get
care.
outta
I'll
here.
take my chances. My father was not happy about it. It was also $150 a person, and we had to take like a rickety ass bus to the sanctuary, and then they bore you. It's a an hour and a half thing with 2 minutes. You're with the monkey. I would have taken. You could have charged me $1,000, and I just wanted to spend an hour with this monkey. So there's a bunch of different monkeys, and so in this little tour group that I'm with, there is an interesting two people. So it's a woman, and she's like Swedish, I think, like definitely English second language or maybe first language. Do they speak English in Sweden?
I'm sure they
speak
do.
Swedish.
They speak.
Okay, well,
Swede,
anyways,
right?
she's like a giant. She's like 6'1", and she's got this guy with her who's probably 80, and but his arm is hooked into hers. It's like he can't walk at all without her.
Right.
And so I thought that they were just a couple, and like he must have money. I mean, he was dressed like he had money, like he had like a Gucci belt on and shit. But he's like decrepit and she's very young. And it was just really weird. My brother was like, no, that's definitely his nurse. Like he's sickly. And I was like, all right. These two things maybe blend.
Do you go to a monkey sanctuary with your nurse?
I don't know, but this man could not walk at all without being like arm hooked into her.
Right.
And like if you can't walk, get a wheelchair. Lord knows there are plenty of those on this fucking ship. Or like a walker, a cane, or I don't know. It's weird that you're using this human to walk.
Yeah,
it was weird.
That's what he
and
pays her
she
for.
Towered over him. He was a tiny little 80-year-old man, and she was 6'1", Swedish, like
Was she attractive?
behemoth. Yeah, she was pretty. She wasn't like she could have been thinner. Okay.
Oh wow. And maybe that's how you called her, a Swedish behemoth.
I saw her at the gym a few times. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. So anyway, here's the clincher.
Would I liked her?
She was really dinosaur-y. Like, it just, everything was just bigger.
She had short arms.
Did you get a picture of her?
No. But here's the thing, because this was the wildest shit. So when we watched them all day, we were with them all day. That evening, my brother and I are going to the casino, and you can take the elevator, or if you're just one floor up, you can just go up the stairs. He does not know we're behind him. We're behind him on the stairs. She's nowhere to be found. This motherfucker is taking the stairs 2 at a time. Uh-huh. He is just putting on an act.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. He took the stairs better than my father could take the stairs. Like, there's nothing wrong with him.
What was his end game?
Don't know. When we got up to the casino, he was gambling for a little bit, and then she resurrected, and he went back to...
Really?
It was the most... Like, Chad and I stopped gambling entirely just to focus on this couple. Yeah.
So what do you think was going on? You guys had to see aside and like been like, what's happening?
I mean, what we think happened is she's officially his nurse, but he doesn't really need a nurse, and he's trying to fuck her.
Is that the way to get in? Is like nothing on my body works? Yes.
I don't know. It's very unassuming.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird strategy.
It is a weird strategy. All right. Well, when we come back, I am going to tell you what happened on the plane ride home because I am not done with the stories. Okay. So the flight home. Now, let me set this up for you. There are 4,500 people disembarking a cruise ship, which sucks.
The worst.
It's really bad.
You have to get up really early and get in line early.
Oh, you're supposed to put your luggage out the night before. I did not do that.
You didn't?
No. Well, my father, protect your valuables, Kaplan, was like, we're not doing that. And I was like, there's a note in my room that says my luggage has to be out by 8 p.m. He goes, what are they going to do? So we walked off our bags, which is so inconvenient because when 4,500 people are trying to exit a ship,
it's a nightmare.
I had a huge suitcase. Everyone, all my whole family had huge suitcases.
And you had to go through customs, right?
Yeah. Anyways, I didn't lose any valuables on this trip, just so you know.
Thanks to your dad and his Fox News tips.
Yes. So
Don't look him in the eye.
So I flew out. So the show I was supposed to do, unfortunately, got canceled. That was going to be in Boca. The the host of that show, a good friend of mine, he fell ill and we had to cancel the show. So I'll let you know when we reschedule. But nevertheless, I was flying out the next day. The flights that leave Florida around Thanksgiving are just a nightmare with children because everyone's in Florida for fucking visiting their grandparents or Disney.
What airport did you fly out of?
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. I
I would not fly out of Miami. I can't stand that airport.
Miami is whatevs, without a doubt. The worst airport in the country is the Orlando airport because it's all Disney families.
Yes, it's bad. It's bad.
It is a nightmare.
You want to see a real nightmare? I had to fly because I had a company meeting in Orlando, and I was flying from Salt Lake, where everyone has 8 children, to Orlando, where they're taking them to Disney. It was the worst flight I've ever been on.
I can't imagine.
Well,
oh God.
Here's what happened. So I am waiting to board. I am unfortunately on a Southwest flight. It cost me a gazillion dollars because I had to book it last minute. And so it's like over $500 for this one-way ticket.
On a Southwest?
Yes, because because the show got canceled, I had to fuck that all up. And now I'm flying like at peak traffic.
Don't you have points or something?
Yeah, I had vouchers that my mom gave me. I didn't spend $500. Just same $500. Why does everyone do that? If it's points, it's still points. It's still $500 worth of points that like I did. It shouldn't have been.
Yeah, I guess. I don't.
Well, anyway, so I was just irritated, but I had a good boarding group. Like I was beginning of B boarding group, so there's no reason I shouldn't have like priority seating, basically, right? So if you don't know this and you don't fly Southwest, there are 60 people in each boarding group. It goes A, B, C. By the time you get to C, because there are only 60 middles, 60 aisles, and 60 windows,
Right.
you don't want a middle. By the time you get to C, it's almost all middles. Here's the thing. Between A and B, they have family boarding, which I know to be ages 6 and under with one accompanying adult. So you can't get your whole family on just because you have one kid. One adult can go with that one kid so the kid doesn't have to sit by himself because he's under 6. Over 6, nobody fucking cares what happened to you. I know this rule very well because I fly to and from Utah, and this is a problem in Utah. All right, I see family boarding, like they have lined up and there are at least 60 people, like an entire boarding group of people, and there are teens in this line. There are many adults. And so I'm starting to get revved up.
Right.
As I do. Next to me, to my left, is a guy who realizes that I'm also upset. Like I start doing that, like I'm doing like the,
Right.
the universal, I'm upset. Who else here is upset? And he's like, do you believe this shit? And I was like, no. I think this is ridiculous. I know this isn't the rule. The gate agent has to clip them. It's just like if I tried to board with the A group and I'm B, you clip me at the door, I can't board. That's the same with family boarding. That he's got to have some kind of, you can't just do this. So I am already deciding what I'm going to do, which is the professional way to handle this. And the guy, he's very normal looking. He's probably like 60. He's flying with his wife. He looks at his wife. He's like, I'm not going to go over there because if I go over there, I'm going to pop off. And I was like,
He said that?
yeah. And I was like, I'm like kind of not interested in, I don't need an alliance. I'm not building an alliance here. I'm going to go directly to the gate agent and I'm going to fix this myself. I don't need you. And like, I appreciate the cacophony, like
Right.
the amening over here. But so he goes, so he gets up. I'm not really paying attention because I'm plotting what I'm going to say. And the gate agent is here. The line is here. He gets up and he walks over and I don't know. What I think happened is he walked like all the way to the end of the line and then all the way to the front of the line. And then he was like, these are not children. And he starts getting a little snippy.
With is he closer to the families or closer to the gate agent?
No, the families. The gate agent, he's nowhere near the gate agent because this line is like 60 people long.
Oh, so he's just doing vigilante justice.
He is. He's like, you think this is a child? And so somebody's dad goes, hey buddy, why don't you back off? And this man went for the lowest hanging fruit possible. And I cannot believe this really happened. I don't have a recording. I'm sorry. You're going to have to trust me. He goes, what? You want to do something about it? Fatso? He calls. This man was with an entire family. Now, mind you, every kid except one was well over 12, like not even 12. But one kid was like 5. And the kid starts crying. Because now this stranger has called his dad fat.
Validating what he had been thinking for years.
He doesn't stop there because now the guy, honestly, to his credit, the guy kind of backed down because he's like, oh my God, this guy's just going to like berate me in front of my children.
He backed down?
He backed down.
You can't do that.
So he goes, all right, man, all right. And he goes, no, seriously, why don't you go on a diet?
Oh my God.
And then.
Is everybody staring?
And I'm thinking, this guy's definitely getting kicked out of the airport. Then he proudly walks over to me, high fives me and then sits down. And now I am in it with this guy.
You are roped in.
And I can't do the thing I want to do because now you've sullied my good name here.
Yeah. It's like, that guy and the girl that wanted to call him fatso but didn't have the balls. They want to get on first.
I never would have gone to your weight. Yeah, he was a fat guy, but that's irrelevant.
Oh, I have so many issues because look, if you're going to do and Chris, you've been out with your kids and somebody's acting up. There are levels to dad alertness where you're just like, okay, that got 3 seats back, getting a little loud. Okay, he just called his wife the B word. And so you're like doing math in your head about like if something physically has happened. When you say something, if I say anything to another man, I'm assuming that we're going to go at it.
Yeah.
And so if somebody calls me a fatso in front of my kid, you got to do something. They can't be like, Dad pussed out.
No, he didn't do anything.
You got to respond aggressively.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you do.
Hold on, I lost
I can't. Corinne's lost her earring. We're gonna have man chat for a second. Chris, what if somebody insulted you in front of your kids?
I'm gonna get right up in his face. I mean, I'm gonna
stand
right up to him.
Especially since you said something the first time. If you're a person that's
I'm not gonna throw down or anything, but I'm standing up.
I'm not done. I wish I was done. I'm not done.
Well, you just left your microphone and was looking for shit like a crazy
just filling space there.
The back of my earring. I know. Thank you. I wasn't yelling at you guys. I'm not done. I'm telling you the situation gets markedly worse. So now I'm like, I let a little time elapse, and I'm going to go to the gate agent because I know that this guy has solved nothing at all.
Right.
I mean, this little kid was still crying, and I was like, and then he said this as well. He goes, these kids should learn to fly on their own. And like this kid is hysterically crying.
Oh my God.
And then one woman is like, my son has never flown before. I don't know if he's going to throw up. And he's like, he's 11 years old. He'll handle it. Like it was just, anyways. So I move away from the group. I get to the gate agent thinking, perhaps I've come away unscathed.
Perhaps she didn't see the high five.
Yeah. And I'm just hopeful that I can talk some sense into him because this is absolute mayhem. Like it's chaos. This shouldn't be happening. This ticket cost me over $500. So I go to the gate agent and I was like, hi, I fly Southwest a ton. And I know that your policy is that the child has to be under 6 years old and then they can have an accompanying adult. It would appear that you have a lot of children in this line that are not children at all. And they're definitely over 6 and there are like multiple adults. And it's just obviously a little bit out of hand. And he's like, oh, do you think it is?
Oh.
Gets on the microphone. He goes, I want to make a special announcement. For this flight, we are upping the age limit from 6 to 12. So please feel free to get in the family boarding line if you have a child that is 12 and under. And now 20 more people pile into the line.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Oh, if you don't think I reported this shit to Southwest, I fucking fully did. I got his name. Like I was like, fuck this.
Oh my God.
Then I get on the plane. There's nothing but middles left. I sit in a random middle seat. Now, I do notice, like, catty corner, not in my aisle, but one aisle back is fatso.
Right.
Oh.
What I didn't realize...
Turned on him.
What I didn't realize is I'm sitting with his whole fucking family. I'm in the middle of his family. He has 2 full rows, and God forbid they sit in the middle, right?
Did the mom say anything to you like, hey, pass the seatbelt extender?
And I was like, I can't, like, and as we're landing... one of the kids, I'm telling you, these kids, they were old. They could sit on their own for sure. One of the kids is like, oh, I hope that guy falls off the tarmac. Like he's making like jokes about the guy, my friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm seething. And then the other girl, daughter of his is like, oh, wah, he's so sad because kids get to board first. And I'm like, do you know what you do? They don't get to board first. Only 6 and under.
Right.
But I can't do anything. And so I do the only thing left. I go into my backpack. I take my hat out. I put it on, and I proudly walk off the show with my hat, if you don't remember, that says, get your kid away from me.
I love it. By the way, Asar, who was looking at screenshots for a clip, and there was a screenshot of you with that hat on, and it just made me, because you have a smile, like probably the same smile you had on your face when you were like 4. I'm sure there's a picture of in your mom's house of you with this, and it was just, you were so cute with this hat on.
I was really into that.
But I mean, that's such a crazy scenario that dude let another guy disrespect him in front of his kids.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know. And then like the kid that was like, I hope he falls on the tarmac. He's like, when he said that to Uncle Dave, I was like, yeah, Uncle Dave, he passed on the snacks on this flight.
Yeah, I bet he did. A little shame. I'm good. He said it loud. I'm good on the snacks. More water. Yeah. And look, big guys, first of all the weight rooms I've been in, big dudes, those are the guys that can bench press 300, 400, 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Like being a big guy
and this guy was 60. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what.
I can't believe he let that go down.
It was actually, honestly, it was Spirit Airlines behavior occurring in a Southwest gate.
Well, I'll tell you why it did go down like that, Corinne, because it's a shitty policy.
It is a shitty
the
policy.
Boarding groups A, B, C, but then there's a caveat of boarding group B 2.0, where if you have a kid and military, it's like, give me a seat number when I give you my money. And we have none of these problems.
So my favorite catchphrase is we used to say when I was flying to and from Phoenix, we used to say, I'm every flight is a miracle flight because everyone has to board first with their wheelchairs, but everybody can walk off. It's a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of miracles, I'm going to need one. I have major surgery coming up, and we're going to get all into that after this break. Okay, so we're done with the cruising. I hope you all enjoyed all of the information from my cruise. Now we're going to get into a somber topic, which I'm going to make funny, okay? I'm going to make it funny, but I just want you to know that I am currently not finding a whole lot of humor in it. So we all remember my asshole problem.
Right.
Right. Let me catch you up.
We're not talking about a past ex.
No. I don't know why. My asshole is pristine otherwise. It's never been touched. However, the inside of it looks like Hurricane Katrina hit it. There are downed power lines. There are cars on roofs. There's a lot going on in my asshole, and it needs to be fixed. And I've been going on about this for 2 years at least, because I've been doing it since we've been podcasting.
Right.
But probably 3 years all in, I'm just in pain all the time. And the doctor, the hot one, which please go back and listen to the episode. I have the hottest proctologist of all time. He was like, you are going to either fix this or you're just going to live like this the rest of your life. It's not going to fix itself. Like, you see, that's not happening. So I decided to suck it up. I thought, well, I have some time off around Christmas. Rather than enjoy my holiday,
Right.
why not get surgery on my asshole? So I booked the surgery. But this is the thing I do. I'm real good at this. I do no research, no second opinion. I'm just like, I'm like very, I don't want to know, right? So I go to the
You don't want to know what's going on with your asshole?
I don't know the name of the surgery, nothing. So
What?
the surgery center reaches out to give me like the pre-surgery instructions. And I realized this is a substantial surgery. Like,
Yeah.
Not only do I need someone to pick me up, I have to have someone sign a waiver saying they'll watch me for 24 hours after I'm picked up because I'm at a risk for a fall. And I guess I can't fall and break my asshole again.
You're at risk for a fall.
Yeah,
do they numb you?
Yeah, I guess. And then also I'm under anesthesia, but I have to be watched for, it's a 24 to 48 hours after. And someone has to like sign a document saying they're going to do this. No one's doing that, just by the way.
You should come over here with me and Sarah. It'll be good content. Seriously, come over.
I'm going to tell you what the name of the surgery is because I Googled it because I was
Face
like, well.
down asshole.
Oh, I forgot to tell you something else I wanted to tell you. All right, well, we missed it on the cruise side.
Okay.
Damn it. Where the fuck is this? Okay, so I am getting a lateral internal sphincterotomy.
Okay.
And I know there are so many gay men listening. If you have had this surgery, please, for the love of God, will you please reach out and make me feel better about this? So this is the procedure. A small cut is made in the anal sphincter muscle to reduce tension in the anal canal. I know. This allows the fissure to heal and reduces the chance of developing more. It also requires stitches.
Oh.
I know. And I know I joke about enemas and I do know how to use them, but I have to do enemas before the surgery. 2 in a row.
Jesus Christ. You're going to be empty.
I know.
Good time to weigh yourself.
Yeah. Of course. So here's the problem. That is what it is, right? Okay, I knew I was going to have to go under. I guess maybe I'm at a risk for falling, and I assume I'm going to be in a bit of pain. But they told me I could go back to work within 5 days. And so I'm getting it done on a Friday. I'm taking Monday off. I'm going back to work Tuesday.
What?
Unfortunately, that isn't what the internet says. So it says the success rate is reported to be over 90%. That's fantastic. The risks. The main risk is a degree of incontinence, which is usually mild and only lasts a few weeks. Huh?
Yeah.
What?
And then,
how the fuck am I supposed to go back to work?
yeah, that's that you could just got to have a bathing suit on underneath and just say I'm taking my nephew to a water park right after this.
And then it says other possible complications include bleeding, infection, reactions to anesthesia, and difficulty peeing. Most people fully heal within 2 to 4 weeks. I'm going to work. I don't have any more days off.
Yeah, yes, you do. You just can't go. Because you're going to be weird and everybody's going to be staring at you.
Well, even worse is that I've scheduled 90 other things. I have a CO2 laser, which is like a massive undertaking on the 23rd, which is 7 days after this. But also all of this is, I'm supposed to throw a New Year's Eve party with Erica at her house.
We'll just dangle you from the ceiling like Tom Cruise.
And I'm meeting with her after this podcast. And I'm just going to be like, listen, I don't know how good they make diapers nowadays. Like, I don't really know what my condition is going to be. I'm assuming everything's going to go swimmingly, but I don't know why this motherfucker was like, you can return to work.
And you know what? While you were talking, maybe it's just the capitalist in me. I'm like, is there a market for fashionable ladies? Depends. Because there's people with incontinence that are like 34 and they're like,
I don't have incontinence currently.
well, anytime somebody throws the word currently, it means that it's coming. That's I am not currently incarcerated. Yeah, it's gonna go down, buddy.
Well, anyways, I'm accepting all of your well wishes, and if you want to send a little get well to me at mysafewordismoreadvice@gmail.com. I do want to mention that this is our last episode of the year. However, in a fun twist of events for you guys, we lost 3 episodes that are audio only, no video, that we recorded in the very beginning, and they were A+ content. They were stories I had been holding for the 2-month hiatus we had that I then recorded. Something was wrong with our video and we couldn't use. So you are getting more episodes. I have to review them to make sure all 3 are still okay to go out. But you're going to get content. You're just not going to have video to tie you over through the end of the year. So
I have no idea what we talked about on those.
Merry Christmas. Ironically, I know in one of them is when I shit my pants at the nightclub.
Oh,
so the incontinence continues.
Yeah. I do not currently have shit in my pants, do I?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's so true.
That's
And I want to leave you with one thing because I haven't done this in a long time and this just needs to be said. I used to give you every now and then things I don't want to hear about, right? So it's something that's come across my plate too many times and I don't fucking want to hear about it anymore. So I have one that I wanted to get out before the end of the year. Here's something I don't want to hear about. Your elf on the shelf ideas. Stop.
What ideas could there be?
Oh my God, my entire Facebook is just mischievous elf on the shelf ideas. Here's a thought. I don't have an elf on the shelf. I don't need your ideas. Keep them to yourself or put them on a page for just ideas.
What idea could you have for an object sitting on a
This is
shelf?
a man that does not participate in any social media. If you're on social media at all, it is a nonstop barrage of elf on the shelf.
It's deeper than that. Black people don't do elf on the shelf, so there's no cultural.
Well,
it's like sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie. Like only black people do sweet potato pie.
really? We only ever did sweet potato pie.
Only black people. Like a lot of white people I met this Thanksgiving never even heard of sweet potato pie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to close us out here, we're going to have Chris review. We got our Spotify Wrapped, which is kind of also something I don't want to hear about, but I did want to hear about this.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know. Is that, how everyone at the end of the year posts the songs they listen
Not
to
everyone.
the most and all that. And, it's annoying and you're like, oh God, everyone's participating. Having said that, I find myself reading them all.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel
really?
That. It's
Yeah.
not that.
So I'm annoyed and yet I'm interested.
It's not that annoying. It's just very self-indulgent. Like, why would anyone care what
But then I want to see
listen
what they are. So anyway, we got
to?
our Spotify results for the year 2024 for our podcast, My Safe Word is More. And we got pretty good news from Spotify.
Okay.
I'm going to give you some of the stats. Over 2024, our podcast added 65% new listeners.
Yay.
So we're up
Right.
65%.
I'll take it.
Also,
So that's great.
the percentage I think I'm black.
Oh.
Are you 65?
I go with 60% black, yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
And what age range do you think that we added the most? In 2024, there's a certain age range that were the most new listeners.
40 to 49 is my guess.
30.
Over 55.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome.
By the way,
to the
30,
party.
Is it all
30 is
people
not
I-
a range.
30-ish.
That's still
Also, I'm going to keep this rolling. 75% of our listeners also watched us on video.
Oh.
Well, that makes it all worthwhile because I do put on these outfits and this makeup for you.
I think that's great. 52% joined us in 2024, so that doubled our over-doubled. We over-doubled. We streamed in 23 countries. Our most popular episode was episode 70, Truck Stop Love.
Okay.
We had a lot of listeners.
I remember.
Well, if you haven't listened to
laughed
that,
my
episode
balls off in
70.
that one.
That would be a good one to go
And
back
we
and
have
listen
a
to.
4.9 rating. That means some motherfucker out there
I
doesn't
know.
like us, but most people do. That's 4.9 out of
That's
5.
a great rating. What do you guys want? Everyone to like you?
Well, 1 star, really, it's free. Dipshit.
Yeah, it's like a 10th. And
Yeah.
I just want
That's
to give a big shout out to all our listeners out there. Thank you so much for listening.
I'm sorry, Chris. We don't have listeners. Swimmers.
Swimmers,
Yes.
viewers, listeners, swimmers, all of y'all.
All
So
y'all.
grateful for you. And tell all your friends and family. We want to
Yes.
keep building, and make 2025 just an epic year for My Safe Word is More.
Yes. And Corinne, I will say
I'm
this.
gonna-
The one good thing is that people are watching us, which is great. But like, if we come back in the new year and you're like not in that seat because we have to
Like,
get a different,
yeah.
we have to get a rubber seat for Corinne. Corinne sitting on a desk normally reserved for 4th graders.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh God damn
You're
it.
still
This
welcome
better.
here.
Thank you. This better go well. Well, very happy holidays to everyone. We love you all. Thank you for listening. And if you want to be very generous this holiday season, please give us a 5-star review and write me at mysafewordsmoreadvice@gmail.com because I'm going to be doing nothing for several days while I heal.
All right. We're going to try and get her to stay here, and me and Sarah are going to nurse you back to health.
No.
Back to health. Yeah. Why not? That's what friends are for. Parting the butt cheeks. Get some ice in there.
No.
All right. We love you guys. And remember, this isn't just a podcast about life, y'all.
It's a podcast about how I could technically still date 21-year-olds.
Technically.